I want to go back, way back. You're a young guy. You get cast on Family Ties. It becomes a huge hit, and you become this breakout star. What's it like going from being a nobody to a somebody almost overnight? And how did you deal with that, being a young guy in all that sudden fame as a young man in Hollywood, which sounds kind of like a toxic, potentially toxic situation?
If they had the kind of social technology that they have now, then I would still be in jail. I mean, it's just amazing how we were able to get away with stuff, dancing on the tables. It was amazing. I was thinking about this the other day for some reason. I don't know why, but because I was in L.A. and I was staying at the Peninsula Hotel, which is just a stone's throw from the one-room apartment I had over a garage on a back alley bordering Beverly Hills, Shirley Place, and I lived in. It was $2.25 a month, and I could barely afford it, and so it was a steep climb, but it was a climb. It was not it was overnight in the most common sense of the word. It was 3 years since I moved to L.A. and I started Family Ties. But those 3 years were I ate a lot of plain wrap macaroni, and I ducked the landlord, and I lost my phone privileges and sold my sectional couch section by section, and it went through all that so that when I got Family Ties, that part of it, the success part of it, the work part of it, I really took seriously, and I dedicated myself to being as good as I could, and learning as much as I could. The social side of it, yeah, I was a maniac. It was just all the beer I could eat, and girls, and it was really cool.
I want to ask you about Back to the Future, because it's interesting, because we all think of Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies ever, as just that lightning in a bottle. And I mean, I remember seeing that opening night and just losing my mind. But it was off to an interesting start where, Robert Zemeckis wanted to cast you. You were in the Family Ties contract, couldn't get out, and he had Eric Stoltz. That wasn't working. You sort of became available. He replaced Eric with you. And so I'm just wondering, when you came into that situation, off to a movie that would go on to be a giant franchise, but was off to a bit of a rocky start, and maybe you were stepping into a little of an awkward situation. What was that like?
Well, I mean, they made me feel really comfortable. They didn't make me feel. I very rarely did I feel like I was coming in to complete someone else's work. Or, I mean, there were a few situations where we did scenes, and I said, "Aren't you do the coverage of the other people?" And they said, "No, we already did the coverage of the other people." And I realized they were acting in scenes with Eric, and now I was doing scenes to them, and their reactions were to another actor. It was very weird.
It's weird.
But for the most part, it just felt like a new experience. And I was doing Family Ties in the daytime and Back to the Future at night, so I was just zonked. I was just out of it. I didn't know really what I was doing, and I sensed that everybody was happy with the film and what was going on, but I didn't have a bit larger sense of it. I didn't have an empirical view on it. I just was the day-to-day struggle to get through and do the best work I could do. But there were moments where I kind of knew when they put me together with a choreographer, and I said for the guitar thing, and I said, here's all the guitarists that I love, and I love to do a tribute to all these guitarists, and he got it right away, and we worked it up, and then in those moments I sensed I was doing something kind of special.
I wondered that, because sometimes when you're in a project, you don't have the perspective, and maybe something, I'm sure you've had this, where something you think is going to be huge, then ends up not working with audiences, and something that maybe you think, I'm not sure about this, becomes big, but you were just so zonked that you weren't really sure what you were even doing at the time.
No, I was completely... I literally had a Teamster pick me up in the morning and wake me up in bed and turn on the shower and basically carry me there. And I had a mattress in the back of a van, and I would sleep on the way to the set, and I'd get there, wake up on set, and it was really surreal.